Dear Mr. A&R, we all struggling artists. Realize the world is cold, but we came here to spark it. Swimming little guppies in a sea full of sharks. It's gonna take a miracle to not end up hard.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Six with Thomas and Taylor. Changing it up a bit. Ian's busy.
Napping.
He's asleep. So the reason that we didn't go live Tuesday is because we thought it would be unfair to cover one semifinal for the Women's World Cup instead of the other, because that's the tournament that we're kind of watching the most.
Yeah.
And that's what we have the most information on.
It's pretty much
but, as you may have noticed, this episode is called The Summer of Soccer, which we have kind of thrown around a bit over the last couple episodes. There are 4 major tournaments going on right now. The Women's World Cup in France, the Copa America in Brazil, the Gold Cup here in America, and the African Cup of Nations. And I have no idea where that's hosted. I'm sorry.
Probably Africa.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's in Africa, but I don't know what country. And I want to start with the African Cup of Nations and just kind of go over where that is. Once I pull it up, I'm sorry. There we go. So, I know that Egypt is currently... Yes. Oh, actually...
Why confusion?
I don't know. What is happening?
I don't know.
Hold up. I goofed. Let's talk about the Gold Cup. So, currently the U.S. is surprisingly still in the tournament.
Didn't they make it to the semifinals?
They are currently in the semifinals where they will be playing Jamaica. Today at 9:30. And their last 2 games against Panama and Curacao, not the best football I've ever seen. It wasn't enough for them to win the game.
I'd say there were good bits of football, here and there, but it wasn't consistent, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah, and I think they're going to struggle a little bit against Jamaica. They have the past couple times that they played Jamaica. They played them in a friendly before the tournament, and they lost. So this is going to be a good test to see if they can make it to the final. Hopefully they make it to the final and we'll at least get second in something, which is better than we've been doing instead of not making it to the World Cup, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, they're going to get medal because they're in the semifinals.
Not necessarily.
They're in the medal stages.
I mean, they could lose their game tonight against Jamaica, still get a bronze medal if they win their game against Haiti, because Haiti lost to Mexico in their semifinal. So we'll be rooting for the U.S. men's national team tonight as they play Jamaica. Hopefully they can pull out a win. Other than that, I mean, like I said, the U.S. team, it's better football. I'm glad to see some of the younger faces being pulled up for this team, being able to actually show what they have. Christian Pulisic is out there being Christian Pulisic. Josie Altidore is scoring goals again, which is absolutely mind-blowing.
Didn't he just do the bike?
Yeah, he had the bicycle kick, the winner against Panama.
It was kind of cool, I'm not going to lie.
So I'm glad to see Josie back on the score sheet, playing well. And it's not like, it was a lucky, fluke goal. He had a really, really good game. He fought for that goal. He had a lot of shots, and he finally got the one that he was looking for. And then as for the Women's World Cup, that's what we're going to talk mostly about in today's episode. It has been one heck of a tournament. Lots of frightening moments. I know for a fact that there have been a couple times where I'm sitting in the living room with Taylor watching the U.S. women's national team play going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Like yesterday?
Like yesterday. Please don't screw this up. And they played really well throughout the tournament. They kind of struggled against Spain in the round of 16 match. They were able to get a 2-0 win from 2 penalties from Megan Rapinoe.
It was 2-1.
That's right, it was 2-1 because that was the first time that they had been scored on all tournament.
Yep.
Their next game against France was hailed as the final before the final, and it very well could have been a final. It was the two favorites in a quarterfinal match. That ended up ending 2-1 as well. 2 more goals from Megan Rapinoe. It wasn't the quality of football that I was kind of hoping for.
We definitely didn't play to our potential.
Yeah.
We came out with the win, which is the ultimate result that, us Americans and the U.S. Women's National Team wanted, but it definitely wasn't the best that I've seen them play. So it was it was disappointing in a sense to watch, but it was also rewarding to watch because we won and moved on to the next round, which is really all we can ask for, in a sense. And then because we won against France in the quarterfinals, we moved on to the semifinals against England, and that was played yesterday. And oh my gosh, most stressful game ever. I mean, it was so much more stressful than the France game, if I'm going to be honest, because
I agree.
England had so many opportunities. Honestly, we got that win by the skin of our teeth. And Alyssa Nair for Secretary of Defense, that's all I got.
Yeah,
I can't.
So there were a couple of VAR moments, and I kind of want to talk about VAR a little bit more as well.
Which was the first time they've used it since the round
exactly
16, because they didn't use it at all in the quarterfinals.
There was one where Ellen White, was it? Yeah, it was Ellen White.
She put it in.
She had gotten past the defense, put a ball in, and VAR called her offsides.
It was this much.
It was a little bit more than that.
Okay, on the screen, it was little, but in real life, it was probably this much.
Yeah, it was. It was very close.
It was a very, very close call.
I think that was a good use of VAR. They didn't take too much time. The VAR saw it very quickly. Hey, we think you should look at this. She went, looked at it, said no. Okay, no goal. We're calling that back.
Did she look at it for that one? I think she just straight up said VAR says no goal. No goal. I don't think she went and reviewed that one.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then there was another one, which I talked to refs. I play in an adult league here in Wilmington. I was talking with the refs, and they even said that it was a crap call, where Becky Sauerbrunn was basically actually kicked by Ellen White, but Ellen White dove, got the foul.
Which I still think, and I don't want to sound biased because we're U.S. fans. Obviously, but it was a crap call, and it was VAR called the ref over to go review it minutes after it happened.
Yeah.
There's got to be a time limit on that. You can only have X amount of time to call the ref over. The ref only has X amount of time to go review it, and then the call needs to be made. And if it's not clear, and it just shouldn't. It's
exactly.
not a thing, and it wasn't clear and identifiable as a foul. I don't think.
If you can't find it within a certain time period, it's not a clear and obvious foul. You have to get rid of it. You have to play on, because there ended up being 7 minutes of stoppage time.
Yes,
which is insane. These ladies have been playing. This is that was their 6th match within a month. Actually within, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks.
Probably 3.
That is heavy football. These ladies are already exhausted, and you're adding 7 more minutes in the heat, running, making these sprints. There's no reason for 7 minutes. I can see, 4, maybe 5, but 7 because of VAR is
it should be 4, maybe 5 because of substitutions, injuries, that kind of thing. It shouldn't be 7 minutes because of VAR. I'm sorry, that's just not proper use of VAR.
I think FIFA needs to sit down after these tournaments and say, okay, we need to institute a time limit on VAR. I think the booth has 30 seconds to look at it and make a recommendation to the center ref. The center ref has, I think you said 45 seconds, because I think you said 30 seconds was too short. I think the center ref should have 30 seconds after that. She says 45. To go look at it and make a call. If you can't make a call within that time limit, it is not clear enough. Move on. That's my opinion. Because it's slowing the game down too much and almost ruining it. We had a really good quarterfinal round where they didn't use it It was a really good flowing round, and then it kind of came back and started haunting the refs a little bit again. So we'll see as we move on in the tournament how that goes. And we move on with the use of VAR in leagues and stuff like that around the world. We'll have to see how it develops. It's in its baby stages. I kind of expected stuff like this, but...
I mean, I understand, you gotta test it, but this is a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they were saying when the tournament first started, that all the refs that are in the Women's World Cup, they spent, I don't know what that means.
So we're live right now. We have a kind of a time crunch to get this done. We'll still do a 30-minute episode, don't worry. But as we're going live, the other semifinal, Netherlands against Sweden, is in extra time. We kind of planned for it to be done within 90. That was my fault. I didn't think, hey...
I don't know why you planned for it. I planned for it to go into extra time because I felt like it was going to be a pretty even match. And
to give you an update, it is currently in the 103rd minute, about to be 104th minute of the first half of extra time. And Netherlands scored in the 99th minute. They are up 1-0 over Sweden. At this point, I'm kind of rooting for nobody because I had this semifinal being Germany against Italy.
I had the semifinal being Netherlands against Germany, so guess whose bracket looks better?
So, my bracket was shattered.
Pretty much the first round.
Well, because, I had Australia moving on. Norway moved on. I had Canada moving on instead of Sweden. And then I had Germany beating Canada, so Sweden wasn't even supposed to make it to this point in my bracket. But they had a really good game against Germany.
It was. They honestly outplayed Germany in that second half and won that game.
Yeah, so currently 1-0.
Did it say who scored the goal?
Jackie Groenen.
Oh, she's a sub. Okay. So they must have just subbed her on.
Incorrect. She was in the starting lineup.
Just kidding.
So Netherlands currently up 1-0. If it ends like that, which the way that game was, it was a stalemate. The fact that they got that goal, but Netherlands, I don't foresee another goal coming.
Netherlands had a lot more shots.
Yeah,
They had much of the
possession. With a better team.
Many more passes. I will say that Sweden did have a couple good solid chances. They just couldn't capitalize on it, but I think Netherlands was definitely closer to getting their goal, and obviously that shows that they.
So if this result stands, the final will be Sunday the 7th, my birthday. Let's go USA against the Netherlands again if the results stand, and then Saturday the day before, the third place match will be Sweden against England. If that game comes to fruition, that's going to be another good one. Mm-hmm. I would like to see England play Sweden because England kind of have a little bit to fight for now.
Well, this is their third. I think it's their third time they've gone and only made it to the third round match. So
this has been an interesting tournament. A lot of firsts. The U.S. women's team currently has 24 goals. They need 2 more to beat the record of the most goals scored in a Women's World Cup ever. So if they can score 2 against whoever wins this match in the final, they'll break that record. Alex Morgan is the first Women's World Cup player to score on her birthday.
And that's the T.
That was an awesome celebration. I'm sorry. So like I said, this has been a really enjoyable tournament. Unfortunately, we haven't.
Kristen Press got her first goal too.
Kristen Press got her first goal.
Yep, it was a beaut. She got the first goal in the match, and
within the first 12 minutes. Again.
Which has been a consistent thing that U.S. Women's has been doing this entire tournament. So, woohoo. Let's keep it on, ladies. Also, they're breaking records when it comes to Nike sales and their white kit. Mm-hmm. That's breaking records. It's the most popular jersey that Nike has ever sold.
Actually, a really nice kit. You may not notice, but on the actual jerseys, if you look, it looks white from afar. But if you look close, in light gray lettering,
it has to use
all
the
50 states, which is that's a super cool design from Nike. Mm-hmm. The last couple of years, Nike's been kind of disappointing with their jerseys, at least in soccer. So I'm glad to see they're stepping it up. They're releasing some really good kits. for Chelsea this upcoming season. Those U.S. kits are phenomenal. They've kind of stepped it up in the last season and a half. Well, I guess 2 seasons. They don't release midway through with those jerseys. So I'm excited to see, because I don't know, I like seeing those kind of things. I'm the kind of nerd that will, that's a cool jersey, or that's a cool cleat color.
No, I appreciate jerseys. Like Scotland's, their away kit was pink.
Yeah, and
I thought that was great.
That pink kit,
loved it.
It's a historic thing for them. Really, really cool.
Netherlands, you haven't seen them wear it, but they have their blue kit. But they've only been wearing their orange, which, I mean, I can understand. It's a standout.
Yeah, nobody else has orange.
It's a standout color. They don't have nothing to worry about. But I just think if they move on, it'd be kind of cool to see them wear the blue one.
Real quick, so the African Cup of Nations, I found it. It is just entering the round of 16. They just finished the group stage yesterday. The first round of 16 games will be played Friday, July 5th. Uganda, Senegal, so Sadio Mane is still pushing through. I think he just got his first goal of the tournament in their last game. Egypt's still through, so Mohamed Salah still pushing through. He could win some international silverware. And see, Tunisia's still there. I remember Tunisia made their World Cup debut in Russia a year ago. They were kind of, they didn't really do so well because they were in a really tough group. But they were still able to push through, qualify. So I'm hoping they can move on a little bit in this tournament. And let's see who the top scorer is right now. So the top scorer is currently tied with El Mohammadi for Egypt, Okwi for Uganda, and Salah for Egypt as well. So I don't know. I like seeing the African Cup of Nations. It's it's a prized tournament in Africa. They fight for that trophy because it's the Euros for them, or the Gold Cup for them. It's a very prized trophy to get their hands on. So,
speaking of top scorers, though, really quick, the front runner for the Golden Boot in the Women's World Cup is once again Alex Morgan with her goal yesterday. Puts her at 6 goals with 3 assists. I think second runner is Ellen White. She only has a solid 6 goals because she scored yesterday.
Only 6.
Yeah, and then after that is Megan Rapinoe, who's got 5 goals and 3 assists. So,
trying to see. So I can see the actual. And it actually goes to penalties first, usually. But currently, after penalties, because neither of them have any penalty goals, it would go to assists. So currently, Alex Morgan is leading. Ellen White, they both have one more game to score goals. So come on, Alex Morgan, keep scoring up for the U.S.
She's got 6 goals in 6 games, even though 5 were in 1.
The Copa America is getting down to the semifinals and finals as well. And so there is a Chile-Peru game tonight at 8:30. I won't be watching that. I will be watching the U.S. team play. But last night there was the first semifinal between Brazil and Argentina. Lionel Messi's most likely last chance to get his hands on some international trophies. Unfortunately, he is going home from this tournament as well. Dani Alves came out. Brazil beat them 2-0. Dani Alves came out and said, "It's tough to be the best player in the world. If Brazil had lost that game, it would be on all of Brazil. Whereas because Argentina lost that game, it's all on Lionel Messi." I think Argentina has a solid squad. Fortunately, they don't seem to merge well together as a team. It's a lot of pressure. Would you like to have the pressure of being dubbed one of the best players in the world and never win an international tournament?
So you mean like Marta?
Yeah. That would...
we have that too on the women's side. Who'd they get knocked out Brazil? Was it France?
Brazil, they lost to...
I think it was France.
Yeah, they lost to France.
Yeah, and it was kind of heartbreaking because that was, her fifth?
Yeah.
It was her fifth World Cup, and she's had, she's won Best Female Player of the Year, 6 times, I think. She has actually the most goals scored by one single player in World Cup history.
Men's and women's.
Men's and women's. I mean, across the board. She's got 17 goals, so that's pretty amazing. But it was also, watching her interview afterwards. It was really, you could really feel her passion and her emotion and how much she, loves the game. And she was trying to get, other females to feel the same way. And it's really important because, honestly, female soccer isn't as big as men's soccer.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's kind of sad to, see her go because she probably isn't going to come back for another World Cup. And I think Christiani is in the same boat as Marta, but...
Yeah, I mean, you could see the passion on her face when after in that post-game interview. Hopefully it inspires a whole new, age of girls around the world. Hopefully we'll be able to see some bigger, women's soccer. I'd love to watch the women's Premier League if they covered it, but they don't.
Yeah, I know this whole tournament. Every time they talk about, they're like, "Oh, this player plays at this."
Lyon,
this place
PSG,
and this place. And
Chelsea ladies.
7 players on the France team playing this one place, and I'm like,
but
I didn't even know
it.
that we had freaking Premier League for women.
Yeah,
it's not a thing they advertise.
So not all teams do. Chelsea has a ladies team. Liverpool have a ladies team. Barcelona have a ladies team.
Man City does.
Man City has one.
does. AC Milan does.
Lyon does. PSG does. But so Real Madrid currently doesn't have a ladies team. They just announced that they were gonna make one, which is awesome news. Because that means that the money that they have, they're gonna kind of start pumping it into a ladies team as well, hopefully, which would increase the international women's soccer for market. Hopefully we can see some big strides with women's football. Women's football is aggressive. It's it's fun to watch because these ladies, they have so much more heart, and a lot of them don't dive like the men do.
It's a different level. I feel like it's a different level of passion. I'm not saying that men don't have the passion for it, because they do, but I feel like it's they're passionate about it in a different way than the men's are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe that's just what I see and how I perceive it, but I feel like the women are passionate are just more passionate about it in a different aspect than the men are. So.
The last couple minutes, I kind of want to talk about transfers. I know you don't know much about transfers.
I know nothing about transfers.
The big ones that I want to talk about, Tottenham made their first signing in 517 days.
And then didn't they loan him out?
Immediately loaned him back out to the team that they signed him from.
Wow,
they signed
loaned him back out is where they just.
They signed Jack Clark from Leeds United for $12 million, and then loaned him back out to Leeds United. It's something that teams do actually quite often.
But then
they'll do is yes.
Then why even buy him or trade him or whatever it is?
Because they're doing it preemptively, expecting him to grow and become worth more. So what they do is they'll buy him now.
Okay.
Send him back to a lower team like Leeds United.
Okay.
Watch him grow in the lower leagues.
Okay.
Get better, learn more, possibly bring him back up to the Tottenham squad so that he can play with Tottenham and they don't have to sign him. Because when he's older, he'll be worth more. What they're doing is they expect him to be...
They're just trying to not have to spend a lot of money.
Exactly. They're expecting him to be a good talent in the future.
Okay.
They sign him now so they can save some money.
So it's to save money. That makes sense. All right, carry on.
So it was a good signing for them. I've heard a few things about Jack Clark. I've seen some stuff from him at Leeds. He's an exciting talent that I'm excited for. They also signed, I'm gonna butcher this and I'm sorry, Tanguy and Ndombele from Olympique Lyon for $66 million. And they did not loan him back out. So Tottenham have made 2 signings so far this transfer window. I think they're probably done. Tottenham don't do much transfers. unfortunately. See, Chelsea have officially signed Mateo Kovacic from Real Madrid after his successful loan spell for $49 million. It's a lot of smaller names going to teams, especially with the new FA's, or not the FA, I think it's just FIFA's like loanee limit. So there are teams that are kind of offloading players that they don't expect to loan out anymore. Because obviously they won't be able to. It's not rumors anymore. It seems that Frank Lampard will be the next Chelsea manager, which I'm excited about. Good to have Super Frank back at Stamford Bridge. Liverpool are apparently interested in signing back Felipe Coutinho, because with all the rumors around Neymar, there were rumors that there could be a swap deal for Neymar, Felipe Coutinho, and Ousmane Dembele. But now there's rumors that Neymar's agent, his dad, aren't even interested. I don't know. I think PSG should just cut Neymar's contract and leave him in the wind because he's not worth it. With all the trouble he's caused, all of the tax stuff that he's done, the fact that, Barcelona were really happy to sign him. He was doing really well, and then to go to a team like PSG and just leave them in the dust, kind of, I would be ticked off. But other than that, there hasn't been very much transfer news. Let's see. Man United signed Aaron Wan-Bissaka from Crystal Palace, which is a really good signing for them. But I think we're a little bit short, but we got a lot of information in that amount of time. Is there anything else you have?
Go USA!
Woo! Normally this is where I ask Dad to take us out, but I feel like you don't know how to do that.
I don't.
So I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode live. If you did, if you didn't, thanks for watching it afterwards. I want to thank our really good friend Macrophonic MC. He's an awesome musician. He has allowed us to use his music for intro and outro, royalty free. He's a super awesome dude, awesome music. If you like it, check it out in the description. Thanks for Taylor for being with me today, covering for Mr. Sleepy's in the other room.
I can't really blame him.
Usually Dad thanks me for doing the editing. I don't do much. I press buttons basically.
What he can do.
That's true.
Sorry, Dad, love you.
Check out the t-shirt shop, also in the description below. Check out our Instagram, our Facebook page. If you're watching this live, Instagram and Facebook are actually down right now. Funny. Weird. But I think that's it.
If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let us know what you want to talk about next time. Any questions, let us know. Just be nice about it. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Dear Mr. A&R, we all struggling artists. Realize the world is cold, but we came here to spark it. Swimming little guppies in a sea full of sharks. It's gonna take a miracle to not end up hard.